HR has been buzzing for more than a year about the promise of predictive analytics. But how does it work? And what can it actually do for you? Welcome to Firing Line. I'm Bill Kutik. Joining us today is one of the hottest and certainly one of the busiest of our new analysts in HR technology, Holger Mueller of Constellation Research. After working on applications and architecture for 5 major vendors, Holger is both very technical but speaks the language of HR. Holger, welcome to Firing Line.
Great to be here.
In the past year, Holger, you know as well as I do that everyone in HR technology has heard a pitch from one of the dozen vendors offering predictive analytics. You ran a panel on predictive analytics at the last HR Tech. So tell us, what do you think its benefits can be for HR?
Well, the big benefit is that for the first time, technology can do more than business best practice. In HR, you have to take decisions all the time about people. And software can now, for the first time, make these decisions better and sometimes even automate these decisions. And how it works is that we collect all this information and figure out if it was a good or bad decision in the past and project it towards future decisions which happen.
It can't make them better than the smartest person in the department, right?
Probably not, but we're at this exciting time where software can make a decision better of the average professional on a bad day.
Have you done any case studies on this? Any companies?
So we did a case study at a Midwestern bank, and banks are very interesting proving grounds because they use machine learning and models anyway for the day-to-day business. So people inside of banks say, why don't we use this for HR questions? And the models were applied to questions like how talented is your team and what's the flight risk of the members of your team? And interesting enough, the objective way of software showed that managers overestimated the talent in their team and underestimated the flight risk of people leaving. So it was a great quoting piece for the managers to see where they stand.
Well, aren't banks a special case, or all financial institutions? Haven't they been using predictive analytics for their money for years?
That's why there's such a great proving ground for using predictive analytics in HR, because their managers and users are asking, why don't we use this for HR decisions anyway?
I've read you using the term thrashing models, describing how predictive works. Could you explain what that is?
Yeah, thrashing models refers to that you don't take just a single modeling technique, but you take everything available and throw it at that problem. And you keep doing this, thrashing that over and over again, which doesn't result into using a single method, but constantly keeps changing things. And it's been empowered by the cheap compute in the cloud, leading to the point that for any analytical problem out there, you spend less than the average price of a fast food meal to solve that.
How much does a fast food meal cost? I try to avoid fast food.
Where do you go? Between $5 and $10.
But aren't you telling me that even the data scientists, the guys in charge of this stuff, aren't really sure how it's working or which part of it is working? Is that fair?
That's fair to say because they know all the components in that, but because the data keeps continuously changing, you don't know which of the components the decision algorithm is right now firing. And people use that all the time. If you look at the popular navigation apps Waze, people use heavy equipment in traffic, trusting that software which uses machine learning to tell you go right, go left, to arrive at the hopeful right ETA at that destination.
And Waze, for people who aren't using it, is sort of like traffic patterns overlaid on Google Maps with a GPS.
Exactly.
So you know where your car is, you know where the traffic is, and it's predictive.
It makes decisions for you all the time, and people trust it.
But Holger, you know, HR is making these really important decisions about people's lives. You know, whom to promote, whom to pay more, whom to bonus. Are they really going to accept this on blind faith, do you think?
Well, you should never trust on blind faith, right? You always have to earn the trust of your friends, of your significant others, of your colleagues, and the same thing for software. And the interesting thing is we are very, very good at figuring out if a piece of software is going to help us making a better decision, going to save us 5 minutes, 2 hours to make a decision process, and we instantly know if it works or not.
Holger, if I were a prospective buyer of predictive sitting across from you, what's the one thing you would tell me to do?
Definitely test those models against your very own data. Because you can know, as we said before, you can figure out quickly if it works, but it should be on your own data so you know it really works for you.
I love that. Someone once told me, test your data from 6 months to a year ago, not your most recent 6 months. see what the predictions were for those 6 months, and then look.
That's the way to play back and build trust in an organization with machine learning. Absolutely right.
Are they willing to do this to make a single sale? Will the vendors go to this much trouble?
The vendors should be doing this because they know they have to earn the trust of the enterprise using their machine learning algorithms. And sometimes they need a gentle push, but that hasn't killed anyone yet.
Well, Holger, thanks for stopping by. I mean, I think you agree this is the hottest new thing in HR technology, and you're completely on top of it. I
Thanks for
appreciate
having
it.
me.
At the end of the show, please click on the red box that appears in order to subscribe. You'll get just one email reminder, I promise you, just one, so you won't miss next month's episode of Firing Line. Thank you for watching. I'm Bill Kutik.